taking accountability in our own relationships, one, takes a lot of self-awareness. You have to be able to know what it is that's like particularly wrong. So what I call it is like a self-audit. What you have to do is take audit of like, what are the things that tick you off? What are the things that motivate you? What are just like your habits, your ways of doing things? And knowing that, being aware of that, will help you navigate and move throughout your relationship in a way that's suitable for you and your partner.
Okay, let's talk about something that doesn't get talked about enough: the aftermath of good sex. Because let's be honest, the last thing you want to do is be fully in the moment, worried about who's cleaning up the mess afterwards. No more changing the sheets late at night because that gets old, right? And that's why I found Splash Blanket, the most luxurious waterproof blanket that lets you completely let go in the bedroom without having to worry about the cleanup after. It's 100% waterproof and is literally the most soft thing ever. I love how this feels on my skin, and it holds up to a liter of liquid. It was created by an Aussie woman who literally got sick of the midnight sheet change killing the vibe, so she designed something that supported pleasure. Whether it's partnered sex, solo sex, period sex, or you just want to feel more relaxed in your body, it removes the mental block. This is called a psychological sex toy because when your brain is able to feel safe to make a mess, your body can enjoy more pleasure. So yeah, if you've ever held back because you didn't want to deal with the aftermath of good sex, this is your permission slip. Get yourself a splash blanket and you'll thank me later. Use code Jordan15 to save 15% on your splash blanket. I have the leopard one at home and I absolutely love it. This is your favorite podcast host with a little reminder for you. If you are sexually active, STI testing should be a part of your self-care. We normalize orgasms and taking accountability over here. Just like charging your vibrator and washing your sheets, STI testing should be a part of your routine. That's why I found ProDX Health. It is my favorite at-home STI testing company that is literally so easy to use and very convenient and in the privacy of my own home. Confidence in the bedroom starts with your sexual health. Use code JordanDanelle for 25% off your test kits at prodxhealth.com. See show notes for important safety information. Let's talk about a birth control option that I found and absolutely love: Fex. Yeah, you heard that right, a birth control that I like. If you have been around here a while, you know that I really support women finding what is right for them and listening to their own bodies. And there are options for literally every single woman when it comes to birth control. If you're someone like myself who's looking for a non-hormonal birth control option, Fex may be right for you, and I'd recommend taking a look at it. Fex is a on-demand birth control option. You just use it within an hour before intercourse. I like to say Fex before you sex, and it's immediately effective. You don't have to include it in your daily routine at all, which is really nice and makes it very convenient. It does not contain hormones. It is FDA approved and available by prescription. It is covered by most commercial insurances as well as state Medicaid programs. Also, how could I not forget the lubricating properties of Fex, which adds for a little bonus. What's unique about the way that Fex works is that it maintains the vaginal pH, which creates for an unfriendly environment for sperm, and it keeps the vagina very acidic. So if you're curious about a non-hormonal birth control option, you can go to fex.com, PHEXX.com to learn more, and you can also get a telehealth prescription right there. For more information and to learn more, go to fex.com. Fex is available in the United States by prescription only. Welcome to Vaginas, Vulvas, and Vibrators with Jordan Danelle. This is a safe place to learn about women's health and sexual wellness. I'm your host, Jordan Danelle, physician assistant, women's sexual health educator, and intimacy coach. This podcast is intended for educational purposes only. It is not intended as medical advice. Please seek your medical professional's direction and guidance. The views and opinions on this podcast reflect my own and my guests and are no representation of any institution or organization that I work for. Welcome back to the Vaginas, Vulvas, and Vibrators podcast. Today I have Tori with me. Tori is a sexologist, and I can't wait to dive into modern dating with her. So, Tori, tell me a little bit about yourself.
I'm Tori Swanson. I am based here in Austin. I am a sexologist. I'm a sex coach and also a sex therapist as well.
I didn't know this.
Yes. I'm in school to be a sex therapist. I graduate May 8th, so we're super excited about that. I've been in the sex industry for about 8 years now. Started out as a dancer, as an exotic dancer to put myself through college. Then I decided to take it more seriously. So I became a sex coach, and then I was like, well, let's take it a step further and become a sex therapist. So here we are today, almost done with that journey, and it's been fun.
I love that. That is so awesome, and I can't wait to talk to you more offline about all of those fun things.
Yes.
I literally was just at a conference this weekend with a bunch of sex therapists.
It's super fun.
Yeah.
I love my profession.
Yeah. A lot of my friends are sex therapists, so I love it. So let's talk dating. When we look at modern dating, what is modern dating? How would you define that?
Oh, modern dating is kind of rough nowadays.
That's the truth.
It's very fast paced, but that also messes with the depth that happens in dating nowadays. So since everything is swipe based, you have a lot more access to a lot more people nowadays. So that kind of kills how deep you go into those relationships because everything is so fast. So you're wanting those fast dopamine connections really, really quickly, but the depth isn't always there. So it takes you a little bit to settle into yourself, settle into a relationship, or even just a friendship on a deeper level. Yeah. So it's dating right now in summation is very surface level. Very, very surface level. And I hate that for us. It takes some intention to go deeper nowadays. Yeah. So
dating is hard. I'm not necessarily actively dating, but I'm actively open to actively dating.
Yes.
And, it's interesting because my girlfriends and I, we talk about this all the time, but a lot of us are swearing off of men because it takes too much energy from us. It's energy draining, and they don't know how to reply to a text message. They don't know how to plan a date. They don't tell you when, where, what, and it's exhausting.
A lot of men nowadays, and I think it's just a societal thing and also social media and everything else, everyone is about matching each other's energy. No one wants to feel like they're doing a bit more or overdoing their role. I hear that often. I don't want to overdo if she just wants bare minimum. And no one really wants bare minimum. They're just scared to say, "Hey, I want more." So what you find are women that are telling themselves that they're okay with the bare minimum and cool with whatever the guy can provide. I'll be okay with that. And not necessarily voicing what they want, what they need, and what they desire. There's a little bit of unspoken language that's going on right there around really what we want. And I hate that for us as women because we've been conditioning ourselves to not speak up, to not say anything. And that's just tough. We got to do better with that.
Yeah, absolutely. And, when I think of all of that, it's there's apps for meeting people.
Yes.
There's going to places. There is there's so many ways to meet people.
So many.
What are some of the ways that you see people who are intentionally dating trying to meet people?
I will say it's not the apps, even though the apps are so easy. The apps are so easy. But again, the depth thing, you can swipe, but if you find yourself having 5 conversations a day with these 5 random people, you're not going to want to tell your entire life story. It's very similar to how my patients are in the therapy realm. After they have me, they're after this, I'm not having another therapist. I don't want to have to tell this life story all over again.
Yep.
So it's very similar in that aspect, is that you only give that level of depth with like a few certain people. So if you want that, it's easier to do it in person. So I'm a huge, huge fan of solo dating yourself. Go out,
Yes.
girl, have a drink or a mocktail, whatever you desire. Sit at the bar. Be okay with just sitting there and being in your own skin and being in your own space. And if someone talks to you, then they talk to you. But showing yourself as available works 10 times more than a dating app. So, restaurants, bars, cigar lounges, even if you have like hobbies. So, we can talk about the gym. I'm in a run club.
I love to meet men at the gym.
Yeah, little muscle girl. Ugh, it will do it to me every time. An emotional support bicep. Girl, the things I would do. So even hobbies, like it really doesn't have to be all restaurants or bars type of deal. You can do things that you actually like. You can go on a hike. You can do lots of things and just present yourself as available. I always tell my sex coach clients, meet someone new, introduce yourself to someone new. We're so like social media based that we don't talk in person anymore.
Well,
It's crazy.
I love that suggestion of like just meet somebody new. When I was working in Santa Barbara, this was the craziest story. I went to get coffee one day and this guy walks up to me and he's like, "Oh, what are you reading?" I was just reading a book. And I'm like, "Oh, I'm reading X, Y, and Z. Have you heard of Colleen Hoover?" And he just like really engaged me in a conversation. And he's like, "Oh, sorry that you're my victim today." And I'm like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "Well, since COVID, I made a point that every single day I have to meet somebody new and somebody like just engage in a conversation."
Yes.
And I think that COVID has had a huge impact on our ability to socialize and meet people.
Yes.
And we just got so used to sitting at home and doing nothing.
You're not
or,
wrong.
Or just entertaining ourselves.
Yes.
So I love that.
Yes. Get out, meet someone new, engage in a meaningful conversation, not just a hi, how are you? Because what we find is that a lot of people are going through the exact same thing that we are. No one just talks about it openly. So, as much as you desire and want a fulfilling relationship, you may come across someone that wants the exact same thing, that's on your same wavelength, that has your same mindset, has your same morals. And if you don't initiate that conversation, and especially guys nowadays, like they're conditioned not to approach women because women are too busy. They got things on their mind, all this other stuff. So I always like to tell my female clients, go for it. Go for it.
I love, 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 love to approach men.
Yes.
And I think I'm pretty good at it.
Period, girl.
And so one of the things that I do, like girls are always asking me, like, how do you do it? So one thing that's worked for me at the gym is like just getting onto like the exercise equipment and next to them, especially during cardio. Cardio is an easy time versus like weightlifting where you can easily get in there and be like, "Oh, you training for something?" That's it.
I like the way you
Like,
work.
"Oh, I saw you doing arms and what exercise was that? I was really cool. Would that work?" Just start a conversation.
Literally.
Like I say it's so easy.
I say it's easy all the time too.
I can see where it's challenging, but it is easy.
Social anxiety has nothing on me at all whatsoever. I talk to everyone like I already know them. And to like really get that across more to the people that I'm coaching or the people that I'm giving therapy to is to just start that conversation. Really get out of your head, get into your body and just start the conversation. Hi, how are you? Like you said, what muscles are these working? Like, tell me more. What are you training for? It is really so simple. It may not be easy to everyone, but it is definitely simple.
One of the other ways I love to slide into people's DMs is like just also engaging in conversation. Like, "Oh, where's that restaurant? That looks really good." Or just like start a conversation. I think that's what it comes down to. Like, don't be like, "Oh, you fine."
Yeah, no.
Like that does sometimes work.
I love it. I
but
love it. You got to be a catch to be like, okay, he think I'm cute. Okay, I like this. And then I might engage, but most of the time, I need you to like hold a conversation with me. That's like not just how's the weather or like what'd you do today. Everyone asks me what I did today. I need you to kind of stand out, right? So just starting that conversation of something that's meaningful, that you both can engage in, and it's not surface level, because then that creates a foundation for something to go deeper. If we keep it only surface level, then I might just view you as an acquaintance, or like someone that I just like to talk to, but not on a regular basis. If I want to talk to you on a regular basis and have like deep, meaningful conversations, you got to know how to hang with me, baby.
Yeah. The other thing I was going to say too, for me, I I find that men don't get compliments very often. And so sometimes I love to just walk up to them and be like, "You look good."
Yes.
And then they're like, and just walk away. Just
Yes.
walk away.
Yes.
9.9 times out of 10, they turn around and be like, "What's your number?"
Yeah.
Or, "Oh, hey, I'm so and so. What's your name?" It works too.
Especially when you're giving eye contact whenever you give the compliment. Like you said, a lot of men are not used to getting compliments, or they're used to like it being super superficial. So if you're looking at someone and you really make that good eye contact, like,
You fuck them in the eyes.
I love your blazer that you're wearing today. I love your outfit.
Ooh.
I just do something to you, girl.
You just got me all
Or,
juicy.
okay, girl, that just do something to you. But a lot of people aren't used to that energy, especially when you're like a dominant personality, such as we are. It takes some men by surprise. One of my favorite things, I'm a sucker for a muscle. Okay.
Same.
And a really fine man with a lot of muscle, girl, you
Lord.
remind me of a Greek Adonis.
Oh,
Ooh, that get him every time. Just Greek god, muscular. Oh my goodness. And if he don't look like that, that will motivate him to go to the gym and start to look like that.
oh my God, I love
It's
it.
my favorite. It's my
Love
favorite. So I'm a physique girl, definitely. So I can point out lots of compliments to you, but also I love your brain. So my biggest compliment is I feel safe with you. So I can have a conversation. I can relax. I can be myself. I don't have to feel performative around you. So compliments go a long way, definitely.
Yeah, they do. I want to circle back to dating yourself.
Yeah.
I'm a huge fan of dating yourself. I love to date myself. I've been doing it forever. For me, it kind of came out of necessity.
Yes.
Used to be a flight attendant and travel all the time, and I was alone. And I'm not going to sit in the hotel alone. So I got used to going to dinner by myself, going to the movies by myself, just getting out and walking, doing things by myself.
Yes.
What I'm curious is, for me, often I'll bring like a book to sit and read while I'm there,
Yeah.
so that I'm not on my phone, because being on your phone and scrolling is not that ideal.
I agree.
Do you feel like a book is being still available enough for conversation?
I feel like a book is available. However, you have to work it in a very particular way. So, not just like book in your face, like not looking at anyone. Read a little bit, put it down, enjoy yourself for a few minutes, like get the vibe. And then if nothing or no one catches your eye, keep on reading, girl. Get them chapters in, but definitely pause. Give yourself the time and the availability for someone to approach you. Don't just automatically think that they're not going to. It may not be in the first 5 minutes, maybe it's minute 7. So if you're like, all right, I got 5 minutes, and if nobody come up to me in 5 minutes, then I'm gonna keep on reading. So like ease into it, take your time, but a book is not too much at all whatsoever.
I just feel like if I'm not doing something, I'm just like there staring, looking around, and that's pretty boring.
Sometimes that's good because it forces you to create conversation out of literally thin air. Like people next to you that are chatting. That's how I meet a lot of my friends is I'm not trying to like overhear or like overstep or anything, but this is what I think. And that it's a fruitful conversation up until then. Just engage in that conversation, even if you don't have anything.
It's funny that you say that, because I went to Vegas a few weeks ago, and I went to the bar by myself. My friend was supposed to meet me, but he fell asleep or got into something. I don't know. And so I went to the bar by myself, and there was an open chair, and there were like these two guys like having a conversation around the open chair. And I was like, is anybody sitting here? And he's like, no. So I sit down, and then these two guys are just like So let's talk.
continuing. They're
Yeah.
going,
And
yes.
they like put me in the conversation with them, and it was great.
It
And
happens so
yeah.
naturally. Those are the best kind of conversations that you can't really prepare for. Like I hate a conversation where you have to feel performative, where you gotta like, I need to chat GPT this response because of nerves and anxiety. That's also another
Let's
thing.
talk about it.
A lot of women are confusing anxiety with chemistry, and it is very, very, very upsetting to me.
Well, I'd love to talk about that, but you brought up ChatGPT.
Girl.
And the number of people I know that use ChatGPT as their therapist or who are using ChatGPT to write their text responses, write their things, what does this mean, interpret things. How is ChatGPT impacting dating?
It's tough because what I come across is my clients or my patients not really truly being themselves because they have so much help from this other source. Now, I love that you feel comfortable enough to like go get advice or something like that from AI. However, these are not humans thinking. Sometimes what we want is not a curated response or a curated mindset. What we want is vulnerability. And that's kind of hard to get when you are using AI as a sounding board for your relationship. Yeah, that one's tough. That one's tough. I have no problem with AI. I have no problem with ChatGPT. However, as far as using it as a pillar in a relationship, no ma'am, no ham, no cheese, no turkey, no sandwich. Nada. It should not be a thing.
Yeah, I think there's a huge problem with the overuse of ChatGPT, and not even from like a, what do you call that stance where we're talking about like energy and from
Yeah.
a health, environment, safety standpoint, more just like a quite literal human standpoint. Like going back to what we were talking about earlier about connections with people, this is not conducive for partnered communication, things like that. Like it's not helpful.
Yeah, and the more you use it, the more it's conditioned to give you the responses that you desire, not the responses that you need.
Ooh.
So, me and my chat GPT, like, we're besties, okay? Like, I named her, but also, I don't talk about my relationship. That's not what I use it for. It's more like, help me with this progress now. Like let's do actual fruitful work, like admin work. Let's create a logo. Let's do some, okay?
Give me some ideas.
Give me some ideas, sister. But as far as like make a response to my crush in this text message, sometimes you just gotta wing it. You gotta wing it because when you get married to somebody or you're engaged to somebody, do you think that your partner is gonna want Chat GPT vows, sister?
No.
No, I don't think so. I don't think so.
It's funny, ChatGPT vows. I never thought about that, but that sounds like
It's come up.
awful.
It's come up in some of my sessions. Yes. Yes.
Because their partner did it or was thinking, oh no.
Because
Oh.
you know how your partner talk in real life. So imagine y'all at y'all wedding in front of like hundreds of people and they using big words. And you ain't never heard them use them big words. And it just don't sound authentic.
Or the large pause.
Okay.
The double dash or whatever you call that thing. I don't even know what that's called.
Okay.
That is hilarious.
Yeah, it's tough. Authenticity is always best. So, I mean, if you need to talk to a friend, get a therapist or a sex coach, all
Get
of
you
the
a
things.
therapist.
But don't use AI, please. I beg of you.
Yes. So I want to talk about red flags.
Oof.
I feel like this is a really hot topic on social media, and it's like everything is a red flag. You breathe wrong, it's a red flag. You chew with noise, it's a red flag. I had a coworker, we were talking about, is it a red flag if it was something like totally off the wall. And what are your thoughts about red flags, and what are some red flags that are legit red flags?
Right. Okay. So I do believe in red flags, definitely. But I feel like red flags change based on what you're looking for. So, like romantic red flags, we can do platonic red flags, but red flags do exist, most definitely. My biggest red flag that I see in a lot of my couples is overall, like what it boils down to is inconsistency. So whether that's like you not being consistent with holding space, you not being consistent with what you're saying versus what you're doing, you're not being consistent with overall how you're supposed to treat your partner. A lot of people feel like their partners are obligated to do a certain thing, and partners are not obligated to do anything except be the person that they are on the day that y'all decided to do this partnership. That's it. Everything else should be done because they love you and they love themselves. They're doing it for the betterment not only of them, but for the partnership. So if I tell you, I want you to show up more, I want you to hold space, I want you to just sit with me in this uncomfort instead of consistently telling me, oh, you're strong or what XYZ, you know? If you're telling them what you want and they don't do it, that's also a sign. That, my dear,
Amen.
is inconsistency. So I feel like that by far is the biggest red flag. It like number one, it surpasses everything else. It surpasses the eating with your mouth open. It surpasses the, like not cleaning up after yourself. It surpasses all of that. It's the inconsistency part and the emotional immaturity part. That's number two.
Ooh, yeah. Inconsistency in my last relationship was a massive thing. But I also feel like sometimes inconsistency can get kind of blurred when we start looking at, am I allowing, like
Yes.
taking that self-responsibility of I allowed that inconsistency to persist rather than it was all them. Like I didn't make changes sooner and it just persisted.
Exactly that. That is so spot on. It's really not what they're doing that's the problem. It's what you're allowing them to do. Yeah. Because you can be inconsistent all you want, but if I continue to allow you to be inconsistent, then that's creating a pattern and a basis, a foundation for you to learn how to treat me for the duration of our relationship.
So if you're dating somebody and you see these inconsistencies, when do you address them? When, like, how fast do you move on?
Call them out, baby. Call them out. And here's the thing: if someone responds in a defensive manner, that's an answer. They're probably not at the emotional like maturity level that they need to be in order to hear you and comprehend and understand what you're saying. And it's not always like chastising. Sometimes people want you to change in order to be better, to better yourself, not just for them as like a partner, but for them as a person, So if they can handle it, and you don't have to be like, say it in like a derogatory way or anything, say it in a soft manner to where they get it. Because sometimes they're unaware of what those behaviors are. I have a friend that I was texting them about how rough my day was yesterday. And he said, well, you got it. Like, I know how strong you are. You got it. And I'm thinking to myself, I really didn't need to hear how strong I am. I know how strong I am. What I needed to hear was, dang, that's tough. I'm here for you if you want to talk. And I told him that. And I was scared. I'm like, oof, he might not like this response. But he said, okay, I've actually been working on how I respond to people. So thank you for telling me that. I'll fix it next time.
I love that you share that example because I
Yes.
feel like my mom and I talk about this all the time, but safe places to practice.
Yes.
If you don't have a place to practice and change when you're working on yourself in particular, it makes it really hard.
Yes, I agree.
And so creating those safe places and talking about like what you're working on and all of those things, I think that that can be so helpful too, because you don't know unless you know.
Yes,
And
I
so
agree.
if it's not pointed out, it makes it really hard.
Yes, I definitely agree. And if it's not pointed out in a way that's conducive for them to hear,
Yeah.
then Have we really pointed it out, or have we added to the problem and not the solution? It's tough. You have to know how to talk to people for them to be able to understand and hear you. Yeah.
So the word accountability just came up, and this is
Yes.
what's coming to mind for me. Like, how do we take accountability in our own relationships?
Taking accountability in our own relationships, one, takes a lot of self-awareness. You have to be able to know what it is that's like particularly wrong. So what I call it is like a self-audit. What you have to do is take audit of like, what are the things that tick you off? What are the things that motivate you? What are just like your habits, your ways of doing things? And knowing that, being aware of that, will help you navigate and move throughout your relationship in a way that's suitable for you and your partner. For instance, if you know, like on a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being like, I'm cool, calm, and collected, I can have a very difficult conversation right now. And 10 being like, I want to cut your head off. Let's not have this conversation right now. I know at about a 4, I'm okay. If we get to like 5 and above, I need to like remove myself from the conversation. It's no longer going to be fruitful at all. I might start cussing you out. Okay. So I know this about myself, and that helps me navigate throughout my relationships, right? So it takes that level of self-awareness to know I'm okay until a certain point, or I'm okay doing this, I'm not okay doing that. You have to be that level of self-aware and hold that level of accountability for yourself while you're navigating your relationship. A lot of self-awareness.
I love that. Literally last week I had a patient where we were not having a conducive conversation, and I was getting heated, and I don't even get heated. And I was getting heated, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to be right back. And I stepped out, went to my manager's office, shut the door, and was like, I'm not fucking doing this.
Yeah.
and the patient walked out. So it worked out for me.
Yeah.
There's way more to the story. It's not just me
I'm
being
sure.
an asshole, but
I'm sure.
it was one of those things where you just have to sometimes leave a situation or remove yourself and be self-aware enough that like nothing that comes out of my mouth going forward is going to be helpful and conducive for a healthy conversation at this point.
Yes, you have to be able to hold that accountability for yourself, because if you can't do it for yourself, how can you expect someone else to be able to hold you accountable? Like for the couples that like to go to the gym together and only one of them is motivated, well, I want you to hold me accountable. I want you to be my accountability partner. How when you don't listen to anyone, not even yourself?
Ooh,
Oof.
damn.
It sucks. It sucks. It does. But,
Yeah, that's valid.
it is. It is.
I have thoroughly enjoyed this conversation with you, and would love to talk more about dating in the future and all the fun things and get you back when we're talking about sex therapists and all of that good juicy stuff.
Yes.
Before we wrap up the podcast, I have 2 questions for you.
Okay.
One is, what is something that you are actively curious about and interested in exploring sexually?
Interested in exploring sexually. I'm very curious, and this is like so left field, but it's come up to me so often. I am interested in exploring how religion impacts your sex life. So, religious shame, if you grew up in like a conservative faith, as an adult, as like a sexual being, that has a lot of impact on what you're willing to explore and what you're willing to experience. So it kind of holds you back a bit, but I'm the perfect person to be able to like figure all of that nice stuff out. So that's what's on my agenda here soon, because I went to a Christian university. I grew up like Baptist, so I overstand all of the religious aspects of it. But then again, on the flip side, sex coach, sex therapist, former stripper, I know both sides.
Ooh, I love that.
Yeah.
How do you define pleasure?
Pleasure. I would define pleasure as being settled into your body. It doesn't necessarily have to be an orgasm. It can be you settle into your body and enjoying yourself. That's pleasure to me. You can find pleasure in drinking your favorite cup of tea. You can find pleasure in doing like weight training. I found a lot of pleasure in the gym. So it doesn't necessarily have to be an orgasm. I do want to start reframing our mindset on what pleasure is. It doesn't always have to be sexual.
It's funny that you say at the gym because when I do leg or like hamstring curls, there's something about those hamstring curls that like do something to me.
Yes. Every
I
time.
can't explain it, but it gets things happening down there.
Yeah,
So,
girl.
okay,
Yes.
Jim.
Okay, Jim.
So, thank you so much
You're
for
so
joining me. Where can the listeners find you at?
Yes, I am on Instagram at Tori the Coach, spelled TORITHECOACH. Tori the Coach. And you can also find me. My booking site is www.torithesexcoach.com.
Awesome. Well, thank you for joining me.
You're so welcome. Thank you, Jordan.
This podcast is sponsored by Splash Blanket, a luxurious waterproof blanket for every messy moment, as well as ProDX, your go-to at-home STI testing company, and Fex, your prescription non-hormonal vaginal birth control gel. Thank you for joining today and continuing to bring awareness to women's health. If you love this show, please subscribe so you never miss another episode, and leave a review for others to see. If you want to see me on the daily, you can check out my bio for links to all my pages. Be sure to share this episode with your girlfriends. Thanks again, and see you next episode.